Okay, good evening everyone and welcome to the webinar by Dr. Rina. So we will start now. I will start by introducing Dr. Rina first. She is currently working with exotics in Mumbai and also works with rescued wildlife on a pro bono basis, wherein she offers services to wildlife in distress, right, from first aid treatments, surgeries and rehabilitation. She works with wild birds such as eagles, flamingos, snakes, olive, ridley turtles, crocodiles, and mammals like jackals and deers. She has been working in this industry for more than 10 years now, and she has been very passionate about her work. And every year, she has visited different wildlife rescue centers, zoos, and wildlife hospitals in the US, New Zealand, wherein the knowledge she has gained and the experience shared has helped her to contribute better to improving the standards of treatment and rehabilitation for wildlife back home. Currently, she runs a clinic with an in-house facility for avian and exotics, and she's an honorary wildlife vet for a Mumbai-based NGO known as RAW, which works primarily with urban wildlife. She regularly conducts training programs for budding vets and wildlife rescuers in different parts of the country with an aim to spread awareness and knowledge. As a recognition to her work, she has been awarded with the Carl Zeiss Wildlife Conservation Award in the year 2017 for her contribution to wildlife conservation in India, and was also awarded the Association of Avian Veterinarian USA Scholarship in 2016. We welcome you, ma'am, for this webinar in collaboration with Life Science Education Trust, and we can start the webinar now. Over to you. And I would request all the participants if we can have the videos on so that we can make this an interactive session.
Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
great. Hi, yeah, thank you, Simran, for the wonderful introduction. I'm obviously excited about being on the platform with LSeT in providing, some kind of vocational training for budding vets who are already into practice also. The whole idea of doing this introduction and orientation was because there are so many vets who are already in practice or vets who are, just going to start their career, interested in exotics, interested in wildlife. But unfortunately, they don't have a place to learn. They don't have means to learn. For somebody like me, if you ask me what I learned in college way back when you talk about birds, for me, it was only anatomy of chickens and how to increase their meat production. So clearly, all of us have gone through those phases of learning, and we all want to learn more. And like everybody knows, like veterinary is booming right now. There are so many different pets people bring in, and the whole concept of doing this internship is do not shy away from any and every animal that comes to you for treatment. Now, a bit on LSeT. Now, LSeT's a great platform. One, not only do you get hands-on training, okay? When we talk about exotic wildlife, hands-on training is honestly what is really needed. You may read 100 books, you may do a couple of courses online, but hands-on is what technically matters. If I can connect with the rest of the vets here, there'll be vets who have been scared of handling a bird or would have had instances where, a bird would have collapsed in their hand, or they're so scared they would probably just put in a multivitamin for the animal or the bird that comes their way. Now, LSeT is offering you hands-on training, which means, let me tell you a bit about LSeT. LSeT is a trust that's set up with the whole idea of providing skills to not only veterinarians, but even animal keepers, say even paravets, even anyone and everyone who's passionate about working with exotics, working with wildlife. So it gives you a platform to not only learn, but also a lot of job opportunities. If you excel at your internship, then you are guaranteed a placement if you are good. When I'm talking about placements, we are looking at zoological parks, we are looking at zoos, we are looking at private farms, we are looking at rescue centers. So when we LSET basically is a to about 2,000 different exotics. Yeah, that's right. So for me, when I go there, I feel like Alice in Wonderland, because when I was growing up and I wanted to work with exotics, like, like Simran said, when I started off, every year I would go to one country, intern with one particular species, get some skills, come back. Whereas getting that kind of a platform back home in India is a huge thing. My personal experience have been associated with LSET for the past 2 years and have anyways been on and off visiting their farm. You get to do a lot of hands-on, and not only do you gain knowledge, but you share knowledge also. So whatever ideas you have in your mind, whatever skills of yours that you want to implement, this is a great platform. When I talk about 2,000 different animals and birds, I'm talking about marmosets, different kinds of monkeys, spider monkeys, cotton top marmoset, red-handed tamarins. I'm talking about birds. So when you've been talking about birds, I'm talking about finches, I'm talking about macaws, I'm talking about toucans, I'm talking about all the birds that you would have on your bucket list wanted to work with. When we talk about reptiles, we have iguanas, we have capybaras, we have maras. There are so many different species, and that thing that okay, I want to work with a particular species, you get to do that. Now, in terms of the veterinary point of view, what do you gain from that place? We have a full-fledged hospital wherein we have an in-house for our critical patients. We have all the possible latest facilities. So we have your blood machines, you have your sonography machines, you have gas anesthesia, you name it, we are equipped with everything that you would have in the state-of-the-art clinic. And not only we have it, you get to operate all those machines, okay? So you get to, if your interest, say, is surgeries, you will probably get a lot of cases that are surgical in nature, where you yourself, once you learn and once we feel you're capable, you will get to perform surgeries. There may be so many different factors, like, we sometimes some vets are interested more in research point of view. So say you want to do research on a particular species of animal or bird or reptile, you want to do blood parameters, you want to do fecal counts, you want to do so many different studies. So if there are vets who want to pursue research, this is a great platform and a great place to be in, because you have all the resources that you need. So you have your subject, you have the animal, you have whatever support you need, plus it's great. The whole setup is great. You have to be there to understand what it is like. The other thing is, not only, like, when I do consults with most of my clients and when I train interns here back in the clinic, I actually make them do day-to-day work with whatever patients we have in-house, whatever sick birds we have, right from cleaning their cages to formulating their diets. Because tomorrow, when you are prescribing something to a client, okay, if you're giving a client a diet that an African parrot needs to have a certain diet, or a finch needs to have a certain diet, unless you do it yourself, you do not learn. So the association between doing things is a lot. So not only will you be exposed to the medical part, because since it's such a big setup, we constantly have cases coming in. We do not need to rely on cases from outside. With 2,000 animals, there's always going to be something or the other. Say sometimes we may have a mite infestation load, we may have a worm infestation load. So you're always, constantly working with some or the other different animal. So in those terms, not only will you do medical part, but you will learn how to handle the animal, handle the bird. You will get to formulate diets, which is great, because when you're working with exotics and even wildlife in captivity, for us to understand their diets is so important, because most of their diseases that we see these days in practice, it's all originating from bad diets, bad animal husbandry. So even if there are instances where you're faced with an iguana, for most of us, an iguana is an iguana, okay? There's nothing like a Fiji iguana, there's nothing like an albino iguana, there's nothing like a red iguana. We don't know that much of differentiation also. But fortunately, I mean, there is so much that even in a certain species, there's so much variation, so much differentiation in terms of what their needs may be. For a lot of vets, they may be interested even in breeding birds, breeding reptiles. If you want to get associated with a conservation project, take it for that matter. And everyone knows, like, I'm very passionate about conservation. So conservation is the need of the hour. So if you're looking at a career in conservation too, it works great because you get to understand their breeding cycle, what kind of nest boxes, like what a macaw would prefer compared to a toucan or another bird, what kind of diets they have before their breeding season, what kind of nest boxes, how the bird or the animal doesn't like being disturbed, is okay to disturb, is okay with noise around. So what I'm trying to tell you that when you sign up for this, you're not only signing up as a vet looking at only medical aspect. There is a lot that goes into it, and trust me, because I'm exposed to so much, I can tell you, like, you may not have surgical cases in your practice, but you will definitely have medicine cases. So you get a hands-on in terms of nutrition, in terms of breeding, in terms of husbandry, in terms of medicine, in terms of surgery. And the place has great supportive staff. Like I said, anything and everything that you want is available on campus. This internship is spread over 3 months. Okay. So we are looking at anybody who's dedicated to making this their career, coming and interning with us for 3 months. We will provide food, we will provide accommodation also. Why all of this? Yes, because the whole concept and focus of LSET was to bring better standards into the whole exotic practice, into the whole captive management. Sometimes all of us have a very negative feeling or respect towards zoos. So this is where you can make a difference, where you can share knowledge that you've learned on campus. So yeah, that's pretty much what LSET is. And this is based in Bangalore. The hospital is based in Bangalore. The farm is based in Bangalore. It's a huge, I think it's a 1.5 acre setup in which your accommodation, the animals are there, plus the hospital is there. It's a 3-story building attached to the farm that I'm talking about. So anyone who's keen on registering, who has questions for it also, if what you look at getting from this internship, feel free to ask me. And rest of the details, Simran herself will provide you, in terms of what more, like in terms of the technicalities about the course. There's not much to say more, but yeah, it's a great opportunity. And I wish I had it when I wanted to be an exotic wildlife vet, because it took me at least 7 years to visit every country and, try to learn from different people. And when you have that opportunity to learn it under one roof within such a short period of time, I think that's great. That really works well. So Simran, if anyone has questions for me or wants to know more about LSET, I'll be glad to answer them, because I think this orientation is more about interaction and getting information than me sharing information. The basics I have briefed people on.
Hello,
Yeah,
Dr. Rina. This is Hema from Bangalore.
Hi, Hema.
Hi. Sorry, I think I missed a little bit. This LSET farm you were speaking about is in Bangalore, right?
Yes, it's in Bangalore.
Okay, so we'll be interning there.
Yes, you'll be interning at LSET. I spend about a week in LSET every month. So your basic veterinary training will be conducted by me. Along with, there are vets at the farm also that are posted. So on a day-to-day basis, you will have people to guide you. I spend a lot of time there too. So any kind of thing I will be guiding you to and teaching you to.
Okay, got it, doctor. And all the other details about the timings and all we can discuss with Simran, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, doctor. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Hi, Dr. Rina.
Hi.
Hi. So I think you mentioned this in the beginning, but I think I missed it. But like,
Okay.
I don't come from a veterinary background, but I'm really interested to pursue this internship. So would you recommend anyone who's interested in the field, or like, is it specifically for medical?
No, so it's pretty much for anyone who's in the field who wants to make a career in this field. See, you can make a career out of your passion. That's the whole idea and goal of LSET. So anybody who's looking to be an animal keeper, maybe even behavior. So that's why I've been stressing. There are different aspects of it. My role was to take up the lecture for budding vets who are interested in it. But yes, if you're looking at any sect, any, whatever subject related to this, you're most welcome to apply for the internship. And Simran will give you details on that. There's a separate orientation program once, for people who are interested in the internship, who can look at making it their career.
Okay. Okay.
To
Okay.
this question, one more thing I would like to add is that it does not matter which background you're from. The most important thing that we look forward to is your passion about making your career in this field. If you are from a tech background or a zoology background or maybe an arts background, doesn't matter. The main thing is you should be willing to make your career in this field. That's the main thing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so there are a few
Anyone?
questions in the chat as well. There are no charges for this particular internship that we are talking about. You will be paid a stipend of rupees 5,000 per month. You have to pay a registration fees of 500 rupees, that too once you are selected and when you reach the farm. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So which year vet students are eligible for the internship? So first, second, third, all the years can apply. It is based on your selection. If you are interested, you will be receiving an application form. Post the form filling, you will be called for an interview, online interview. And once you are selected for the interview, we will let you know the criteria. Sairam, this is a 3 months internship. You have to be available at the farm for 3 months. This cannot be done online.
And approximately when will the internship be starting?
So Hema, we
Going
have
on that
different batches that we have at the farm. So based on your selection and based on the number of vacancies that we have, you will be allotted to a batch.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thank you.
The minimum duration of the internship is 3 months. The 3 months internship is the basic training course. Post the 3 months, you can also opt for the 6 months advanced training course that we have. That is totally up to you. And after the internship, we provide placement opportunities also. So we have tie-up with several other institutions. So once you complete your training program, they conduct your interview, and if you are selected, you can join them. Mode of selection, others, after filling the application form, you have to go for an online interview. And once you are selected in the online interview and we do a background check of yours, you can join the farm. The entire selection criteria is based online. What all will be taught covered in the internship?
I can answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry if you joined late and I was a little quick with it, but right from handling different kinds of exotics to nutrition, to medicine, clinical medicine, to surgeries, you will cover every and any aspect of animal keeping and veterinary medicine. Yeah. What would be the timings? I think Simran can answer those technical questions for you, the timings, what day off and everything.
So there you will not be getting holidays. So all of you are aware that we can speak, but the animals cannot speak. So it is our responsibility to feed them on time. So there are no off days as such, but yeah, if there is an emergency or a need, you can take a day off with the permission of the admin at the farm. And you have to work every day. There is no off day. The work generally starts at 5 a.m. in the morning and it stretches from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Definitely you get breaks in between. Regarding the application form, I will be sharing a link in the chat here itself in some time. And also I will be sharing the same form in your WhatsApp. The ones who have attended will be receiving the form. So once you fill the form, we will schedule your interviews based on your application form. Ruchi, this internship opportunity is definitely not just for this year. We have been planning to take it forward and grow it more. But yeah, your selection and your joining is based on the number of vacancies that we have. Kalyani, this internship is available in future also, but if you are interested, you have to fill the application form so that we, we know that you are interested and you might get an opportunity. Because again, I will say that the seats are very limited and based on the vacancies, you are being selected.
Okay, thank you.
Simran, the local Bangalore candidates can also come on a daily basis and come back, right? It's not mandatory to stay on the farm.
Hema, it is suggested to stay in farm. If your house is very near to the farm, then we might consider it, or else we would suggest to stay at the farm. The reason being the work starts very early in the morning and it gets very difficult to reach the farm so early.
I understand, but once you make the batches, will there be a set time that you allot to the candidates? Like
this can be discussed later in the interview because this is a very specific question, right? And it is not a general one.
Yes, yeah, thank you.
So I have shared the link of the application form in the chat. So if you are interested, please go ahead and fill the form. Accommodation and fooding is on LSeT. You don't have to pay anything for that. Okay, so we have one more question. Rina ma'am, would you like to answer that? Does the syllabus include avian medicine and surgeries?
Yes, of course it does, because like I said, on a daily basis, we see a lot of cases, considering we have 2,000 animals on the farm. Yes, it does include both of that.
Any more questions?
Any more questions?
Please feel
free to. Yeah.
Would
you also have the opportunity to work with big cats? Unfortunately, we don't have big cats on the farm. Otherwise, I'll be the first one working with them. No, we don't. But there are ostriches on the farm. There are cassowaries.
The farm is located in Yelahanka. Okay, so any more questions, anyone? In case you are not able to ask here or have some doubts or questions later, you can anytime get back to us on the WhatsApp number. through which we contacted you. Total vacancy is not fixed, Adarsh. It is on a rotation basis. Sometimes we might have vacancy for 3 people, sometimes for 10. It depends. Some of you might have missed the application form, so I'm resending the form here. I think it's Rashmi. The interview will be a general interview and not as such veterinary specific. It depends upon the knowledge and the passion that you have for this field. So any more questions?